Yo, what's up? It's Friday, everybody. I know you're happy and it's 4 o'clock, but I'm just starting to work. Just kidding. You listen to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. I got my girl Kaylina in here with me today for this first hour. It's just me and you, Kaylina, today. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think you'll be fine because you don't have anybody interrupting you. You don't have anybody say anything back. You don't have the ringer in here yet until 5 o'clock. Eric Strauss is coming in here to kick it with me as well. There's a lot of different action going on. Hey, there she is. She's even on camera.
Well, you're saying there's no one to pick on, no one who will pick on me. I might as well be fully present. Just kidding.
And the nice thing about it, you guys, if you've never seen Kaylina's face, you can go after this show, you can go to YouTube and you could download the whole thing there.
That's a little, Kenny.
What?
You're not
Kenny,
just like, okay, we all want to know how Kaylina looks, so we're all going to go to YouTube. You're not only go to YouTube, you can download it. Like they can download my face.
Yes, you're on camera now.
Yes, I have been appearing from time to time.
But time to time is not like today. It's just me and you.
Today it's the Kaylina and Kenny hour, and I said that in the correct order.
Yes, you did. And we're gonna jump into some women. As far as like the Winter Olympics and Lindsey. I'm
honestly very unupdated, so I'm actually looking forward to this because it started, right? It's happening.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a different perspective, right? Like I want your take on a couple things when it comes to sports, just from a in general perspective, right?
From an artistic perspective.
Exactly, which is a different mindset and a different perspective, but I'm not going to lean on you like that.
We share discipline. I mean, like, they're both crafts, and that requires discipline. I feel like anybody, being an athlete is being an artist. You and I talked about that off air once.
Oh, without a doubt. Yes. Everybody has their own gift and their own talent. And some of them are sports. Some of them, no, seriously.
All of them have a coach who's like, technique.
Yeah. See,
your technique.
You have voice coaches. You have voice coaches. Like you have to sing a certain way on a consistent basis. You have to practice a certain.
Do you want to hear a funny story about that?
Go ahead.
It's so relevant. I had my voice lesson. I normally have them in the afternoons because I'm more awake. And I moved them to the morning because, schedules demand. And I almost slept through my lesson this morning. And I got a text. I kid you not. I sat up like a vampire out of bed. And I ran in to do, Zoom and just sang. And it was actually very impressive. And I was like, it's because of the technique. Because I was talking to her, like, oh man, like my voice was raspy. And I was like, I haven't really woken up yet. I'm so sorry, but I'm here. And she's like, it's okay, let's do some warm-ups. And I'm pretty sure my boyfriend was like, when did this Catholic monk show up in my house? Because I have this deep, loud, resonant voice. And that's because of technique.
Yeah.
Technique.
People don't understand.
I'm a tiny little person, but I have this really, a muscle builder of a voice.
See, and you have to sing from your belly a lot too, right?
Yeah, it's your abdomen.
See, I know these things.
Yeah.
And think about it. To relate to sports, you have to have a strong, stable core, which is your foundation, which lays a lot of helping you from a stability standpoint of being able to have your balance and being able to jump with force.
Yeah, honestly, the older I get and the more I learn about different fields, it all comes back to your core. Do you also do breathing technique? Like, does your breath work matter?
When you're running, yes.
Okay, I might see.
When you're working out, breathing in, breathing out. This is where, I don't know if people know this, but I had my own trainer my whole career, all 11 years. I had 2 different trainers during the course of my career, to where I was having them travel with me, especially the one in the beginning. He was there the longest thing. He was there for like 6-7 years of my career. And he traveled. And I used to have him order my food. I used to have that. Remember the George Foreman? I don't know how, you're not that young. You know what a George Foreman is, right?
No,
you don't.
No,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
I was
Never mind.
really trying to.
So it's a
Don't know.
cooking. It's a boxer that used to like beat up people back in the day. He's a legend, right? So
Okay.
he came out with this cooking product to where you close it and it cooks the product.
Wait, like a George Foreman grill?
Yeah, I should have added the grill.
I was waiting for
My
you to say
bad.
grill, and I thought, you know what? Since he didn't, I probably just don't know what he's talking about.
No, grill. I
Okay.
said George Foreman was a boxer,
but a
though. My bad.
boxer-
I didn't leave the grill part.
A boxer invented that?
Yes.
That's hilarious. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
You know he has some help.
Yeah.
So, hey, you guys, I got a special show. At the top of the hour, I have the Honorable Judge Bob Brack coming on. This gentleman was the guy that helped me back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a time where I came out of high school, Albuquerque High, and the NCAA took a half a credit off my transcript without notifying anybody, and then I was instantly ineligible because I didn't have all of my class credits that met the clearinghouse when it comes to the NCAA going through all of that process and figuring that out. So I had to sue them. And there was Judge Snyder there, God rest his soul. I talked to him before he passed away, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago, around there. And he made a comment like, if he didn't rule in my favor, Kaylina, he would have had to get out of Albuquerque.
Oh, man. I mean, honestly, the injustice seems pretty clear.
Yeah, it. Come on, man. The NCAA, like, it's one of those things. It's like a wild, wild west right now. And the way these kids are getting opportunities, I'm happy because it opened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's so many things to where these kids are getting chances to make money because this university is making money off of them.
Yeah.
And the way that the game is being played at the collegiate level right now, it's kind of pro. It's pro. And the way that these kids are making the type of money that they're making. Kaylina, there's a kid, I can't think of his name right now, but he plays for BYU. Guess how much he makes in a matter of 4 months?
You mean like not for the college, but like how much he gets paid?
Yes, how
playing.
much he gets paid for playing in college for 4 months.
For 4 months? I see. You make it seem like it's really high. So 5
months, March.
November. I'm going to
December.
guess $50,000.
Oh my God, Kaylina, you're not even close.
I knew it.
$7 million.
Oh, Kenny, I can't even comprehend that amount of money.
18, 19-year-old kid making $7 million. And that's just at BYU. Think about some of these other bigger schools when you think about Michigan and you think about Houston, these colleges that just have a
Sir, I was
crapload of money.
paid to go to college and I made like $12,000 a semester.
When I was in college, I made $420 a month. That's how much we got paid in college.
Yeah, it was like I kind of just got like my money back and I could kind of like, you know, after all the fees. So it was only a couple thousand after all of my tuition.
Thank God for scholarship. I feel for you.
Yeah, no, I have no debt because of scholarships.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Scholarships because you could sing?
Actually, because I could play the flute.
See, there's scholarships for everything, you guys. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to be honest. From the perspective of kids in high school, right? That's why they're in the marching band and all of that to get opportunities to go to college on scholarship.
Well, it's a craft. I really need to like emphasize this when it comes to art or like the so music degrees are one of the most difficult. They're in the top 3. The most difficult degrees to get. And even though I'm still active in music, I technically don't have a music degree. But so like just to emphasize how difficult it is, but like we can't just take the first 2 years off to just focus on like our core classes. I'm sure you can relate with basketball. Like we have to continue to be building our skills. So it's really wonderful. Like we're getting paid to be at all of the events for marching band and pep bands because like it's time out of your day that like, you know, especially when you're already busy in college, like we can't not go to those things because we have to like build our skills the whole time. See, but then when do you have time to actually make money to pay for food or rent? So
I think what you do is a sport.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Like think about it.
Thank you.
You see arm wrestling, and I know you've seen this on ESPN.
I have not.
And have you seen? No. Get this. This is about to be stupid. I can't believe I'm about to bring this up.
I'm ready.
Have you seen the slapping competitions on ESPN?
That's real.
Yes, you get slapped.
No, thank you.
Kaylina, you get slapped.
Oh, I'm good. You know,
It's a
I was
sport.
always better with no contact sports. That seems like a contact sport. Like it's in the name. It's
That's so
slap
cool.
competition.
That's so cool. Yeah, we're gonna take this quick break. We're gonna jump into some NBA, obviously our Lobos, and we got the Winter Olympics that just kicked off, and there's some trades, and we're gonna jump into some other stuff as well. Thank you guys for listening to the first segment with Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. You got anything you want to chop it up with me about our Lobos or NBA trades, whatever it may be, the Winter Olympics? You can call your boy at 505-246-0610. I got Kaylina in here producing with me as well. Got the text line open. Yo, the Winter Olympics was kind of cool, Kaylina. Just to kick this off, I got to see Mariah Carey sing at like noon today, and it was amazing and mesmerizing because when you think about this, and I'm trying to relate to you right now because I think of the most talented women that I've heard when it comes to singing, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey.
Yep.
From the standpoint of how, you tell me if I'm wrong, how, I don't know, how they can, it's from the belly to where they can just like spit it out and it's like long, it's like deep and it's like effortless to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Am I saying this right?
Yeah, no, for sure. So what's really crazy and like notable about Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston is those really, you know, they can do those vocal runs so effortlessly. They have a lot of flexibility in their voice. And you're right. So it's crazy because, you know, those really, really high notes, technique wise, they have to think about down. Yeah. The air has to go down.
Totally.
In order to actually fill up your entire abdomen. And then the air is oscillating like you are literally the instrument. It's really fascinating.
Get this though. It's in Italy.
It's in Italy?
You know, I've been to Italy. I played on the USA basketball team when I was a junior in college.
That's
obviously.
Amazing.
And being able to go to Canada before that, then we flew into Sicily.
Dang.
And then we took like a little bus, or I can't recall, was it a bus or a little plane? We flew into Palermo or drove into Palermo, and I was there for like a month.
That sounds so cool. You know, I almost went to like Ireland with the band when I was in college. And then I almost went to, the choir was doing a whole tour around Europe. But I left a semester too early. I mean, I could have still done it. But to me, I was like, this seems like a lot of work. So college is really cool, like with their programs like that. Like, I think it's so important to be able to like take groups like programs like the basketball team and the wind symphony or the choir and just get to travel.
If I told you I want a gold medal too.
Okay, you could have led with that. That was way more cool. I'm not gonna
lead with that. Come on. It's actually pretty cool. It's hard, obviously. It doesn't seem real, some of the things that I've done, Kaylina.
Yeah, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be up for a gold medal, Kenny. Like that's like a very rare achievement.
But hey, get this though. Our women's team kicked off a 5-1 win. Our hockey USA team won 5-1 over Croatia. Kick it off yesterday. Mix of what? What's so funny?
I was just like, man, like we're already hitting the ground running.
Without a doubt.
Like
right?
To me, I'm aware that the game started today, but I didn't get to watch Mariah Carey, so it hasn't really I haven't fully processed that we started. And you're like, no, the hockey team's already won.
Yeah, and then you got the mixed doubles curlings, and the USA started out strong too as well. They kick off again. You got Canada, that's obviously starting well. They're 3-0 right now. So, and then snowboarding, the big air. You got the men qualifying run that started yesterday. If I told you I had a snowboard, would you believe me? Me on a snowboard?
You know, I'd believe it.
I have my own snowboard and my own snow gear and everything.
Do you spend your time on the board, or are you like the many snowboarders I've seen that are just kind of like on their butts?
No, I keep my see. When you fall, you just gotta roll.
Yeah,
I've gotta roll.
Maybe it was like a snowboarding class too, because that makes more sense. Like I've definitely taken a skiing class, but I remember when I was on the slopes, it was like you just saw too many people with boards on their feet, but they were otherwise kind of like angels on the snow, and you're like, I'm get out of the way. Like this
if I
dangerous.
Told you right now, like skiing, I took a snowboarding lesson and it seemed more easier for me, but skiing, I could not work the 2 skis and then the arms. I
You know what's
couldn't do it.
crazy? When I was a
And I'm
kid,
an
they didn't
athlete,
even
I think.
hand you the 2 sticks for your arms. Like they literally just taught you to ski without those. Which honestly I think makes sense in a way because like you're actually stopping with your skis and not the ski poles. But you know, I understand the lack of coordination, but all you needed were your skis, Kenny. So come on.
Get this. You got men's downhill kicking off tomorrow as well. You got women's 300-meter speed skating and snowboarding men's. The Big Air Finals also is Saturday. And then women's skiing jump is also Saturday as well. You got on Monday, we got the women's 100-meter speed skating. Men's alpine combine and women's big air final. Kaylina, I'm excited to check out some of this stuff, and I'm not one of those dudes that actually watches Winter Olympics, but I'm excited to kick this off. And the nice thing about it is, Kaylina, is that the Winter Olympics are back on NBC, which
Say
is
what?
Peacock, right? Which the NBA is back on NBC, which when I played, that's where it was, NBC. So that's pretty cool to be a part of KOB4, which is also NBC, where you can go catch your boy after at 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. on KOB, which is over at NBC as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Kaylina, when we get back from this break,
Yes.
there's this amazing woman called, her name is Lindsey Vonn.
I've heard of the name.
I know you've heard the name. And what she's doing right now is unbelievable. And the fact that she just tore her ACL.
No.
And she just went, and she's competing in the Olympics. She's like 41,
With her
42
torn
years old.
ACL.
Yes. And she's had surgery on the other knee as well.
Possible?
It's unbelievable.
That blows my mind. Like I have literally, I don't know, the ACL is very mysterious to me. I have heard of people who like, you know, they will get surgery, but they'll continue. I've known a marching band member. She had to wear like a little knee brace.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, she marched with a torn ACL before she could get her surgery. And I'm like, that is, what are you talking about?
Yo, if you're listening right now and you want to talk about the amazing Lindsey Vonn and what she's doing in these Olympics at her age, you can call 505-246-0610 or text me.
So she's going to get surgery. Just it wasn't.
Yeah, not right now.
Just
she's
not
waiting.
Not until after the Olympics.
No, check this out. TMZ's reported it. There's people reporting it. She's doing squats right now with the brace on her left leg, her left knee, and she's doing all kinds of stuff with her. It doesn't seem real. I was looking at it this morning before I came in. I'm like, this woman is like superhuman. She's like Michael Jordan, superhuman. She's like Tiger Woods.
Marching wins is not the same as what she's trying to achieve. But like from what I've heard, yeah, with a brace, it's like possible. But I've also heard that it's still exceptionally painful.
Unbelievable. See, now this is the pain tolerance they're showing her right now. She actually went on her training run today.
Wow.
And she completed it with a torn ACL. I'm looking at it right now on TV.
That is amazing. That is an amazing feat.
You know what I mean? Like I've been shot up with the shot of cortisone in my shoulder.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how you're able to go out there and still play and compete. And think about it like this. You got Phillip Rivers with the torn ACL in the AFC title game versus Peyton, right? And then when you think about some other guys like in the NBA and in the MLB, right? You got obviously Lindsey Vonn, what she's doing right now. And then I just stated Phillip Rivers against the Patriots. And you got Jake Youngblood, 1979, with the broken fibula, played in the NFC playoffs, the Super Bowl, and the Pro Bowl, right? Like
you have to really want, you know what I mean? Like your passion and your drive has to be pretty impressive in order for your mind to override those kinds of injuries.
Without a doubt. Who we got on the phone?
We have Robert.
I should have known. What's going on, Robert? What's up?
So, Lindsey Vonn, who did she date recently?
Who did she date? Come on, man. We're supposed to know that? Let me look it up. What you got?
You just said his name just a few minutes ago.
That's uncanny.
Okay, who we talking about?
Tiger Woods.
She dated Tiger Woods?
Yep.
I guess you have to be an impressive lady at that point.
So if you're dating Tiger Woods, you know you
right
got to be just like Tiger. You know.
That's fair. It's right here.
So you know she's tough.
They dated
absolutely tough.
They dated 2013 to 2015, right? Imagine some of those conversations, right? Like
yeah, where you're talking about your craft for sure. Sorry, I'm a musician, so I'm saying craft, but it's the same thing. Like when you're talking about, changes you need to make, and you're making like notes and philosophical. Like when you're talking about what you do and like how to get through these really crazy obstacles. Yeah, I imagine like their conversations around like just the concept of discipline.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. What's up, Robert?
That's it, man. That's what I was just going to say. You guys were talking about how bionic she is and how tough she is. Well, she was dating Tiger. Tiger had to have bent her ear a little bit, on how to be tough.
Oh, without a doubt. Hey,
she inspired him?
Yo, get this one though, Robert. Think about Kobe Bryant in 2013 when he went and shot those 2 free throws at the torn Achilles.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like
that.
Yeah.
Not only that, you got football players that are out there playing with broken bones and screwed up knees and everything else, and then they come out at the end of the season and then they say, well, so-and-so just had surgery for a broken foot they've had like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Josh Allen just did that, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
See, it sounds terrible.
Here I am. I stubbed my toe, and I think it's the end of the world.
Yeah, man.
I can relate to that.
Man, you guys got to understand. Like, I've had some hairline fractures that can hurt, like you guys would not believe. And the only major injuries I've really had was lower back pains, and I still have those. So no sciatic or anything like that. So I'm very grateful for those opportunities that I did not get. Those chances of being hurt on a big scale. You got anything else for me, Robert?
Yesterday you guys were talking about Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you were talking about how he's got a twisted ankle. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, he's got a twisted ankle and he's playing in the Super Bowl. There's nothing that Dr. Feelgood could not fix. Nothing. That's why you have trainers. That's why you have, how many times have I gotten shots in my back from the doctor just so I can continue on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there's nothing, when you're going to play in the biggest stage in your sport, you're playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so, man. Hey, these 4 years they don't come very often, and she's getting older, right? Like, when you think about Lindsey Vonn, like if she has surgery right now, could you see her coming back for another Olympics?
Not at 41.
Exactly. I totally
She's
agree
41
with you.
now.
Totally agree
There's
with
no
you.
way.
Yeah. So that's why she's out there doing what she's doing right now. So.
Yeah. Plus, not only that, Cortina is her backyard. That's her course. So if you're in your own backyard, why wouldn't you go there? That's like Tiger playing at Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines is Tiger's course. He owns that place. That's where he won a lot of his major titles, or won his titles,
Yeah.
And won his tournaments. So when you're playing in your own backyard, so let me ask you this. Where was the most comfortable place that you played ball in?
Comfortable place? Like if I was in the pit?
Where do you think you played your best ball, that you felt the most comfortable?
Everywhere. and I'm not being sarcastic. Yeah. Like,
no, you got to have one gym that you just felt right that was the place.
I wouldn't necessarily say a gym, but when you think about the platforms, New York, right, LA, those big markets, those big marquee markets, I love playing in those environments. Loved it.
So if you read what Lindsey Vonn talks about, she says, look, she goes, I didn't want to come back, but Cortina was calling me, so I needed to come back.
She needed that.
She's pretty much retired, but she made it a point. This is what I want to do. And she, the last downhill that she did there, she finished third.
Totally agree.
And that wasn't too long ago.
Yo, put it like this before I let you go. Think about when Michael Jordan left to go play baseball, and then he came back. Not a lot of people can do that. The fact that she did that, took time off, and been able to come back, and you think, once again, Tiger Woods, same thing. I don't think Tiger Woods is done either. I think he's going to come back.
No, I'm going to tell you, the surgeries that he had on his back are very similar to what I had done, and there's no way he can torque the way he did.
I'm telling you, Robert.
No way.
Watch this, Robert. And I know you're going to listen to the show. Tiger Woods is coming back because my show's not going nowhere, bro. Appreciate you calling in, bud. We're going to have this debate. Have a
good weekend. Go Hawks.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, that's cool, man. I think Tiger's coming back. I don't know about you, but if you agree or disagree, you can pick up that phone and call 505-246-0610. We're going to take this quick break. We got 30 more minutes before the top of the hour, before I got an unbelievable segment coming in with my guy that was my attorney. It's going to be good, you guys. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. I got Kayleen in here with me, and I was just outside strolling during the break. Went to go pick up a piece of paper that I printed, obviously, for some stats and some notes. And then I ran into my guy, man. Haven't talked to him. I had him on the show, but he's called into the show when Ed Nunez comes on from the Pit Press. I got Ned James in here. He's going on with TJ in 30 minutes over on KKOB. You can catch him over there at the top of the hour. What's going on, Ned?
What's happening, man? You're supposed to say, what's up with my alumni brother, man? We're alumni brothers. We're old men now. You got just as much gray as I do, even though you're a lot younger.
Man, I got gray everywhere, man. Thank God I don't have it on my back.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's rough, man. It ain't easy being greasy, man. It ain't hard being old, man.
That's
old.
Cool, man. It's an honor to actually have you on the show. I have mad respect for you. I really, really do, man.
Thanks,
what
man.
you
Appreciate
did over there on the football side is a totally different aspect that, from the standpoint of what Coach Eck is doing right now for the university, is awesome. Unbelievable, man. Just give us a little bit of insight on your take, especially where football has come in the past to where it is now.
Yeah. The excitement around football, I'm a meathead football guy. So what Jason Eck has done has just been phenomenal. I mean, he's brought a lot of energy. His personality is one of the things I do is bad because, I've got all these years in coaching and I'm an old man. I always do background checks. When guys come in, I call my guys around the league or I call my guys around college football just to get some background information when they're coming in, just so I know. And I know a couple guys up in Minnesota and stuff, so that had coached with Coach Eck. I did not get a single bad comment from anybody in
Terry
to his personality and who he is and what type of coach he's going to be and just in general, just what type of guy he is. I mean, because a lot of times guys say, just be careful, whatever. None of that. It was just straight great guy, Ned, and he's been everything as advertised as I've gotten to meet him. And, when you're in the business and you've been around a lot of coaches, you kind of see, just the personalities. And that's what generates a culture of winning when the guy is a guy that everybody respects and can get along with.
Well, especially when you see a guy that's embracing the community. He's riding around in lowriders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When have we had a coach to a certain extent that has done that? And I'm not just talking about football. I'm talking about basketball as well.
Yeah.
I feel like both of these coaches are embracing the culture to a certain extent, but it's more Coach Eck.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real.
He bought a house and his family's here. And he's got kids and he's got small kids. He's going to high school games with his kids. Yeah. All those things. People look. There's been some good coaches here. Don't get me wrong, but people take it for granted when guys are when they bring themselves into the community and want to be a part of the community. And I think that's what Jason Eck has done. And I think people, they'll see it if it's not real. They'll see, like he's calling it the real ones, because he wants you to know that, hey, I'm one of the real ones. I want to be here, and I'm proud of being here. And I think he is, and I think it's just going to take a ginormous offer to get him out of here.
Yeah, I totally agree. He does want to be here. Yo, man, let's jump to Super Bowl 60 right now in Santa Clara. You got Drake May and you got Sam Darnold going up against each other. Obviously, there's some oblique injuries with Sam Darnold. You got some shoulder injuries with Drake May and some illness. And do you feel like this game is going to be a shootout when it comes to the quarterbacks because of some of the weapons they have? Obviously, you got Sam Darnold that has SG the Jigba,
in Jigba, yeah, from Ohio State,
which is a great player,
offensive player of the year.
You
Yeah,
got to keep in mind, or is it going to come down to the running game?
I always, people laugh because I played quarterback, but to me, offense is how you sell tickets. That's why this game is not as romantic and as beautiful as everybody wants it to be, because the offensive, people aren't, kind of Hollywoodish. So there's not any kind of buzz about the offensive guys. And I always say defense is how you win games, but special teams is how you win championships, in my opinion.
Okay.
And so those are the things that I think are in favor of Seattle. That's why people are picking Seattle. There's such a strong contingency leaning towards Seattle. But, strange things happen in the Super Bowl. Football is different than basketball. Weird things happen the night before. Guys get busted. Guys go out, get in trouble.
That happens in basketball too.
But I mean, basketball, you got 7-game series. You got, but football, it's that one game. It's that 2 weeks in between. And there's a lot of things that can happen and go on in between those 2 weeks. And I don't think necessarily injuries. Everybody's hurt, beat up this time of year anyway. So everybody's just taking injections anyway to get through the games. But, the quarterback, as far as where the game is going to go, this is a really strong defense of Seattle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Patriots are undefeated on the road. They haven't lost a road game all year.
Yeah.
And so it sets up real nicely. And so that's how, the Super Bowl is. That's why, it's the biggest game in the country every year. But, I think it's just going to be a close game, like all Super Bowls are. It comes down to the end. But, like right now, it's stacking up in the Seahawks' favor. I don't think these injuries, there's one of the safeties or something is hurt on Seattle, hurt his ankle or something in practice last week. So, you just never know. It's wonky. And then the night before, somebody gets in trouble. It's always football is different. These head hits, getting hit in the head. These guys can lose it sometimes right before because of the pressure and everything that comes into the Super Bowl. And I've been in those AFC Championship games, and it's a bloodbath, man. I mean, guys are coming in just all beat up.
Do you think Drake May has the line to sustain Seattle's offensive line and their pressure when it comes to protecting Drake May? I heard that's a key factor. You tell me.
It'll be interesting to see how the game starts off. I mean, these are both defensive head coaches. And defensive guys typically want to maintain physicality in the game, so they want to run the ball. Both teams want to establish the run. Both teams have, Walker from Seattle was good, and Ramondo Stevenson from the Patriots is good. Yeah. So both teams have formidable running attacks, and so that's why people were saying, will it be a low-scoring game because they're all going to try to run the ball. Drake May's young. Are they going to put pressure on him and force him into some interceptions or some turnovers or whatever? But he's won on the road. He's faced adversity all year, and he's done a great job. And so that's why they play the game. You just don't know. I don't really make predictions because the Super Bowl and football in general is weird, especially when you get this far along. Both teams are going to be good. So.
Do you see Drake May scrambling more probably because of the pressure? Obviously he's a quarterback that can run. He's not a Sam Darnold that's going to stay in the pocket.
He's athletic. I mean, he's not a stiff. He's not a Peyton Manning or Phillip Rivers. You can get geriatric guys to even play quarterback in the NFL. Guys who are on Medicare, old enough coming off the couch. Phillip Rivers out there looking like he's wearing an adult diaper. And he played 4 games in the NFL. I mean, it's just incredible because the quarterback position. You don't necessarily need athleticism. Guys who can squeeze it and play from the inside that pocket. Are kind of rarefied air. Stafford won MVP. He's a pocket guy. So it's one of those things where does he necessarily need to run? I mean, maybe he does on occasion. Sam Darnold hasn't been the greatest pocket guy either. He kind of runs a little bit too. So both quarterbacks are kind of similar. They think May be even a little smarter. So you just never know. I don't necessarily think May's going to need to run, or it's just going to be how the game. There's wonky things that happens with turnovers and special teams and defense. And so, we'll just have to see how the game evolves.
Well, if you had to pick, I know you don't like to do predictions, and I
predict there's going to be a tie. I did that one year with these guys because they tried to force me into predicting. I said, it's going to be a tie. And it was a tie. Yeah. And it went into overtime, but it was a tie. I said, hey, look, I was right. It was a tie, 49ers and the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs eventually won in overtime. But, these things are hard. And this is a tough game because it's not the most romantic. JJ yelled at me this morning when we did the show this morning about the fact that I had said that, the reason why this is not one of those games that everybody is too excited about is because neither team has a top 10 receiver, running back, or quarterback. And he stopped me. He says, well, Ned, and Jigba just won offensive player of the year.
I was about to say,
Yeah. I said, well, JJ, okay, write down your list of top 10 wide receivers and put him in there and tell me where he fits. And so, but it's the argument. Now, he may be the best player, but JJ's talking about fantasy football. Now, I don't do fantasy football.
I do.
I don't do numbers. Yeah. So I'm not into the numbers and all that. But tell me if they're picking, he's going to get picked number one. Probably not.
No.
So it's one of those things where none of these running backs or quarterbacks are the romantic pick as a top 10 player. And so that's why this game is not getting kind of the buzz that, you might hear in other Super Bowls, because there's no real big story. There's no, supermodel girlfriends. And, Cardi B and Stephon Diggs is a big story. It may not be as romantic as some of the other Super
it's
Bowls
romantic right now. You got like 4-5 babies being popped out in one same year, man.
Here's for another reason.
That's why this is unfiltered, bro. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
We ain't saying nothing bad.
I won't get into people's business like that.
Well, it's everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yo, you got anything else you want to share just in general, bro, as far as what you're doing? And
well, no. It's just, it's Black History Month. Let's celebrate Black History Month. And that's something that we're doing on campus right now. We had the flag raising first of the week, and then there's a lot of activities going on. We had it at the basketball game the other day. And so we're just doing a lot of things. I do a lot of things with students on campus. And then, of course, spring ball is coming up for football. And, we got 27 new guys, from the portal. Yeah. And it's a lot of guys. And, guys are going to have to get acclimated. So I try to do as much as I can to help them.
What do you do with football?
Football, I just watch.
As far as the kid, okay. So when you're saying you work with the kids,
well, because a lot of kids come from the African American Student Services.
Gotcha.
And I work over there. We do some, peer mentoring stuff like that.
Bro, let me know if I can help.
Yeah. Oh, anytime. Yeah, I'll definitely come get you if I got a knucklehead, because we we don't have problems with the guys who do good. It's those other ones. You know which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, those are the ones
and those are the ones you need to talk to. Yeah,
free of charge, my brother.
Yeah.
Always, man. Yeah. Hey, I would love to have you back. Maybe I can get you in here with Ed.
Yeah, one of these days,
Tuesday or Thursday.
Ed's always calling me for something, man. So, maybe I'll just come in with you instead of coming in with him.
He gives you so many praises.
Oh, I love the guy.
He
man.
really
We
does.
went to school together here, so we're both old men just trying to stay in the sports gigs.
Bro, I'm right behind you, man.
No, you're not, man.
Ed James, you can catch him over on KKOB right now.
You gotta say Ned James. You can't say Ed, man. Ned, N-E-D for all you people out there in the radio.
Did I say Ed?
You keep saying Ed.
Did I say Ed? Ned. You Ned. back in the day, Ned was the Ned the Nelly, right?
No, it was Ned the wino on Stafford and Son.
There we go. You knew where I was going with that.
Yes,
you already knew.
Yes, I do.
Ned James, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Animal. We got one caller. Let's go straight to the caller because we only got a couple minutes in this segment. Let's go. Terry, what's going on, man?
Hey, Kenny. We'll be quick here. I first was going to talk about injuries. My son, he had broke his arm in high school football. Broke it in August, told us in December. And so he played the whole season, no cast, nothing. He had to have the radial head, that knob you have in your elbow.
Yeah,
you had to have that taken out. It turned into a mushroom. But that was just one of the things I felt like, real great parent, and I'm not even noticing.
Terry, you're good.
Super Bowl. Go ahead.
No, I said you're good, Terry. What's up? What about Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, then the Super Bowl, it was like, well, you had Ned on, and he didn't even break out his alter ego, Nate the Hate. He's getting likable in his old age. He despises the Patriots. I thought he'd come on, and they're always known as cheaters to him and all that. And so maybe he's just mellowing out in his old age and all that. So we can take it as a Patriots fan. People go, yeah, everybody hits Patriots. That's fine. I consider Duke basketball. I consider Duke a four-letter word in our household, so people can like or dislike whoever they want whenever they're there. The only thing that could be an advantage for the Patriots is Josh McDaniels is the one coach on either side that's coached in numerous Super Bowls. He's the OC for the Patriots, and he did a few years.
30 seconds.
The Rams and Patriots, it was 3-3, fourth quarter, and he went to Brady and said, we're going to do something completely different. And within 3 plays, they were down, at the goal line and scored. So he has something in his mindset. Doesn't mean it'll work. Players still got to make plays. But besides that, and Vrabel, on that. But, Seattle takes it, so be it. It's a good game. But, yeah, that's how fans act. If it's not a big name, it must not be a good game. But both teams can play, and both teams have players and all
yes,
that.
Sir.
So, so I know a quick segment and all that. So you have a great weekend. See if the Bows can unleash the truck or whatever and get back on defense tomorrow night and maybe guard some guys. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, Super Bowl, we'll see how it goes.
Got
so
you,
have
bro.
a good weekend, Kenny.
Appreciate you, Terry. You have a good one, man. Thanks for always calling in. I appreciate that. We're about to take a quick break. The man I've been talking about is in the building. Yes, he's right here. He's about to break it down. Can't believe he was on my side. Yeah, he held me down too, you guys. And I'm not talking about the ringer, Eric Strauss, but he's in here as well. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Yeah, it's our last weekend. You're home for the NFL. We got the Super Bowl kicking off this weekend in Santa Clara, California, Super Bowl 60. The Patriots against the Seahawks. Terrible game. But at the same time, we still got to watch it and kind of enjoy it. I got Kaylina producing today. I appreciate you, Kaylina, as always. I got Eric Strauss in here with me as well. You can catch him at the top of the hour over on KKOB talking his politics. But he might get a little political right now. Based off of this conversation that we're about to have. It's totally fair right now, Eric, even though we don't talk politics over here. But what we're about to talk about, you guys keep in mind, I've been talking about this for the majority of this week. Being able to have this amazing gentleman in my life since I was like 18 years old has been unbelievable. We recently really, really reconnected, and he agreed to come down from Las Cruces, him and his wife, Sheila. And you guys got to understand, this man was an unbelievable inspiration in my life. He helped me in so many different ways. He's an honorable Judge Bob Brack. He's out of Las Cruces. He's our federal district court judge right now. He was actually my attorney back in the day when I had to sue the NCAA when they took a half credit off my transcript, and he decided to come in. I asked him to come in and see if we can chop it up about what happened, because he brought up some things in the last week or so from the standpoint of how things came up. But before we get into it, I want to welcome the Honorable Bob Brack. Yes, you're laughing. I know I just call you Bob, but I gotta say the Honorable Bob Brack, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you,
Kenny. It's an absolute delight to be here. It's an amazing thing for us to think about it being 30 years since we got together.
Wow.
But we're glad to be here, proud to be here. It's been an honor. It was one of the highlights of my legal career when I was trying cases. To try your case against the NCAA. That was the high point. That was the high watermark.
Let's take it back, because I don't know where you came from. Eric, this man came out of nowhere, and next thing you know, he's representing me.
Yeah.
I don't know how it
cool
happened, but how did that
God's
actually
plan,
happen?
man.
I know
God's
it was
plan.
Nelson France, who's a dear friend of ours, and I've talked to him recently. We just haven't connected yet. But was it Nelson France that actually came to the table? Because Nelson was part of the Lobos athletics.
It was Nelson. Nelson is a dear friend of ours, as you know. Nelson was a lawyer at that time at the Rohde Law Firm. He was representing UNM in what was going to be a lawsuit against the NCAA. And he called me, a small town lawyer from Clovis, because he had seen me try a case before. I represented Gary Colson, who was the Lobos basketball coach several years before you. And he called me, and I came up here and met with you and your mom and dad. And what were you thinking? What were you thinking giving me that job, putting your future in my hands?
Let me tell you something, man. The vibes I feel right now, being around you guys, I always get goosebumps, because you guys were an unbelievable family. The way you took me into your house with your girls, you guys didn't know me. I could have been a serial killer. I could have been a dumb kid. I could have whatever, right? But you guys have always been there for me and always been one of my biggest supporters. And being able to have you guys still in my life, from the perspective of there's not a lot of people that's still around right now in my life, right? To where that growth comes, and then there comes a time to where you got to just cut the umbilical cord to where You just got to move on, right? But the fact that I still feel the same way that I feel when I'm around you now, it's how I felt back in the day. I just felt that bond and that connection with you to where I was giving you basically my life, right? From the standpoint of, I just wanted to play basketball. And next thing you know, here this comes.
It's still crazy to me that it all worked out as it did. I came up, met with you and your folks, and we talked, and your mom was there, so we prayed.
Oh yeah, that's a given. That's a given.
And the first thing you know, I'm suing the NCAA on your behalf, and we ended up, having a 3 or 4 day trial. I don't remember now how long it was.
It seemed like it was an eternity.
Oh, you know what? I just yesterday I saw a photo of you and your dad sitting on a bench outside the old Bernalillo County Courthouse, and the decision had just been announced that you could play ball for the Lobos, and you were sitting there looking shell shocked, and you were both crying, and that was such a huge day for all of us.
Wow.
I mean, when they sent, what representatives did the NCAA send? Did they just go deep pockets and get these fancy New York lawyers, and you're looking across going, holy crap, these guys are loaded for bear? Or were you taken aback by how ill prepared they were? What was it about that time with the NCAA where you were like, man, these are who they sent, and this is the kid they're going after? What are we looking to do here?
So local counsel was a gentleman that's been a lawyer here for a long time, well-respected, former attorney general. That was who they hired as local counsel. But they
hired a local dude to take on Kenny.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
And he had an uphill fight. Kenny was a basketball prodigy. Everybody wanted Kenny to play it for UNM. And he had dominated on the
high
floor,
school level,
in high school. And we were all looking forward to that dominance here. But it was, he was that shy kid, though, we were talking about a minute ago.
Very.
So what was the attorney's name who took on the case for the NCAA? Do you remember it?
Yes. Paul Bardicke, and he's still here.
Bardicke, dude.
He's still here.
Everybody must have hated that guy after that.
I don't know. He handled it beautifully after the decision came down. He said, I respect the decision, respect Judge Schneider, for doing what he did. And he said, and if he hadn't done what he did, he probably wouldn't be reelected.
Yeah.
So he understood the politics of it all too.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, if you're listening right now and you got a question, you can call 505-246-0610 or text me. I'm looking at the text line right now. But I was able to talk to Judge Snyder maybe before he passed away. I think it's been about 5 years or so like that.
Wow.
And he was on the phone with somebody and I happened to be there. And he told me, he's like, Kenny, if I would have ruled against you, I would have been ran out of New Mexico. Because the thing about it is I wasn't supposed to come here.
Yeah.
Right. And then like Clayton Shields, you remember Clayton Shields, who I played with?
Sure.
He's been on the show. He was on yesterday and he reminded me, he's like, yo, Kenny, you were going to UConn. Like I wasn't coming here. I had Dean Smith coming to New Mexico to have lunch with me, but it didn't happen because of everything that this man did for me, and then the way that UNM embraced me, it was like, Kenny, you can't go anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
And here we are. But the way that you guys embraced me, you were telling this story from your youngest daughter. The way that do you want to tell the story about the dog before we go to break?
Sure.
This is pretty cool, Eric.
We actually, so I have 3 daughters. My youngest is Carly. She turned 32 yesterday.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And this is the 30th anniversary of you and I going through this. So she was 2 at the time.
Wow.
And you came to our house for a weekend in Clovis, and she was 2 years old. She was standing on the balcony in our house looking down at you as you walked in. And she said, hi, Kenny. And then she came down the stairs and was now on the same level with you. And she just kept looking up, and her eyes just got really big.
I remember that day.
And she ended up getting a puppy. a Sheltie, beautiful dog. And I wanted to name it Lobo. And they insisted, my daughters insisted, that we call him Kenny. And I asked your permission.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And Kenny was the best dog ever. And we put him down after like 12 years or something.
Wow.
He was great.
That's funny.
So we had a reminder of Kenny in our house all the time, all those years.
Unbelievable, huh, Eric?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's
That's
one of those
cool, man.
things.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with Eric Strauss and the Honorable Judge Bob Brack. I want to just call him Bob.
Just call me Bob.
No. We'll be right back. You're listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. I got Eric Strauss in here with me, and I got the Honorable Judge Bob Brack from Las Cruces, who is a federal district judge down in Las Cruces. And if you missed Unfiltered, you can go to YouTube and search Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. You can go to all the podcast platforms as well and search Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, and follow me on social media, Kenny Thomas NBA. We got our men's game that's kicking off tomorrow. They are playing Boise State at home in the pit at 2 o'clock. You got to go check. No, 8 o'clock. Excuse me, 8 o'clock. That's backwards. Our women are playing at 2 o'clock against Boise State. Bob, no,
They
go
need to
ahead. I
win.
think you have a question.
Well, I want to dive back into this day just for people who are just tuning in. This was a big case at the time. The NCAA wielded a lot more power at the time. And I'm wondering, as you go in there and Kenny's family takes this chance on you, you're a young up-and-coming lawyer, now a federal judge, so you must be really good at what you do in general, right? Because you're not just going to, right? So, but I'm just wondering, are there points in that trial where you're looking across and you're going, dang, I screwed this up, or man, they got us now, or was it ever like at a 50-50, or were you just confident you had the will of the people,
question.
you had the politics behind you? I mean, where were you emotionally that day?
Great question.
Boy, tough question.
Ooh, yeah.
I felt confident throughout, but it was never slam dunk.
Yeah.
I never thought it was a slam dunk. I always knew it was an uphill deal because we were asking for extraordinary relief. We were asking for a temporary restraining order. The NCAA had declared Kenny ineligible before he ever got on the floor his freshman year, and all based on a half credit from a course that he had taken in El Paso, right, Kenny?
Yeah,
like
I think so.
Earth science or something.
They just randomly just took it off, and it wasn't a class that they were considering that was eligible.
See, how did they have the power
just
to
took
do
it
that?
off.
Just take off somebody's grade off a transcript or something.
Well, that was
you can't just do that.
and that was the argument, except that they have the power to say what is a core course and what isn't.
Oh.
And they decided that particular course wasn't going to be considered a core course any longer. But Kenny got caught in the mix.
Grandfathered.
He got caught. So
Yeah.
In the transition.
the question was, when did the change
Happen.
become effective?
Yeah.
And it's just a really arcane bit of evidentiary knowledge. It all came down to good grief, Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
And we had to have the exact addition, though, that was in effect when Kenny took the course.
Uh-huh.
We
Are
found
you
that
kidding?
Yeah.
we found that Robert's Rules of Order at New Mexico Tech the night before I had this NCAA guy on the stand, and ultimately it stood for the proposition that the thing wasn't effective until the next meeting of the NCAA when they approved the minutes. And in the meantime, Kenny had already started the course.
Wow.
Wow.
We're talking about approving the minutes of their meeting
Yep.
to actually adopt.
The
It's the
fact that
new
they were going
rules.
to bleep you over.
See, but this is the crazy thing about it is, right? My counselors were working with UNM to make sure on a consistent basis that I was good.
you were ready
right?
to go.
So if I can't remember, this was seriously at the last hour that they decided that it wasn't valid, the
Yes,
class, right?
Exactly.
And you wonder, Kenny, what bureaucrat is sitting in their office working for the NCAA going, man, that's not going to count.
It
Well, let's go get Kenny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it
It's
makes
just
you think,
craziness.
just based off of what you said, Eric, it makes me think like, I'm not trying to say I was this big time player, but
yeah.
You were.
Well,
Did somebody else
you were a big
want
name
me
at the time.
Did somebody
Yeah.
else want me to go to a different school and I didn't go? You know what I mean? That was a part of that committee or anything?
What if that person was like for Connecticut or something?
Wow.
Wow. You know, that's way beyond my ability to speculate.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, whoa, come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Kenny was a basketball prodigy, no doubt. And he was dominant on the court, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was off the court. He was a shy 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And this enormous organization was going to run roughshod over him.
Yeah.
And ultimately, well, they didn't win. And we proved that they weren't invincible. And
that probably opened doors for other athletes out there.
Prior to that time,
go ahead.
Yeah, prior to that time, they had been invincible. And so here's the story that I told Kenny yesterday. Should I just go ahead and tell the whole thing?
Bob, this is your show.
Yeah.
For the rest of the show. And whenever you want, you can take as much time as you want.
Okay. So last September,
Judge. I said Bob, Judge.
Honorable Bob. Honorable Bob.
Last September, Sheila and I were at a ministries conference in St. Paul, Minnesota. The last night of the conference, a guy comes up to me. I had seen him there, but I hadn't met him.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he says, "Are you that Bob Brack?" And I said,
wow.
"I am a Bob Brack, but I don't know if I'm that
That's
Bob
always
Brack."
loaded, right?
Yeah, and especially when you're a judge, you worry about those loaded questions.
Yeah.
And he said, "Did you represent Kenny Thomas?" And I said, "Yeah, I am that Bob Brack." And this is 30 years. I realized after we talked yesterday that he was having this conversation with me within days of the 30th anniversary of you hiring me.
Wow.
30 years. And nobody's asked me about Kenny Thomas in the meantime. This is something that's just bizarre. And so I said, "Yes, that's me." And he started to ask me the most minute sort of questions about the trial.
Yeah.
He asked me about Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah.
And I said, "Dude, what, why the deep dive on Kenny? What is you thinking?" And he said, "Don't you know? There's a whole bunch of sports enthusiasts around the country that think Thomas versus the NCAA was the crack in the NCAA dam.
Wow.
That's why we have what we have today. You know, NCAA 0.70 or whatever it is. They've changed so many things over time, and he and those people tracked it back to your case."
Wow, I know you got something.
Judge, you never reflected back on that to think how big of a case that was?
No. You know what? I knew that it had huge implications for Kenny and for UNM and for me.
Yeah.
But I never thought in terms of its long-term impact on the NCAA.
We got a Netflix special brewing here, Kenny. I'm not kidding you.
Hey, I got
to do a Netflix deal on this.
I got some cooking always.
Yeah.
Is there something? Yeah.
But you know what? Sheila and I talked about that today. This story has all of the elements of a great story.
It does.
Because it has, the powerless 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You're a basketball star, but you were just a kid with no resources, no backing at home, none of that sort of stuff. And this enormous organization is going to squash you like a bug, and you fought back, and
it is
my
cool.
gosh.
And
I compared him to David versus Goliath.
Yes, he's bringing it back right now. Oh my God!
In the closing argument, you don't think of David as being 6'9", but there you were, and he took a chance on a small town lawyer. In the process, it's a great story, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's got all the elements. So who brought you into the case, and how did you do this thing pro bono, or did you get paid through other
We
channels?
didn't pay nothing, bro. We didn't have no money.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. It maybe came from the goodness of his heart. I'll go out there and say, I didn't pay nothing. I didn't know that we did. So I don't know if you want to answer that. You don't got to answer that.
No, you don't need to answer it.
Kenny, I was introduced to Kenny by Nelson Franz, the lawyer for UNM.
Yeah.
And ultimately, UNM made some arrangement with us.
So there you go. So
that's as well it should be, because they want Kenny. They need to get Kenny eligible.
It was to
so
their benefit,
It
of
makes
course.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Snyder actually, when both closing arguments were done, Snyder, he ruled right away, didn't he?
Yes.
Within like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yes.
Correct?
He said I'm going to go back, think this over, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. And he was.
Yeah.
And the courtroom was packed. I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember that.
And when he announced his decision, he went back and forth a little
it
bit.
was loud in there.
And Kenny
I remember that.
wasn't sure which way he was going to go.
Yeah.
You know when they give the verdict, man, they don't just come out and say you're
I
good or
know,
not.
Yeah,
It's like it's that roller coaster. Like, can you get to it?
This pro bono, blah blah blah.
And then
blah,
didn't I
legal
come to you and
jargon,
ask you like what does this mean?
Yep, you did.
Deja vu. There
And
we
I
go.
said, you're on your way to play basketball. You're on your way to get a physical because you're expected on the court here in about an hour. That's what I said.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was a fat kid that loved cake, bro.
I know.
Hey, I was a fat butterball, man. Hey,
Okay,
you
so
have no
you
clue.
were in that.
There's a story
bad
about
shape.
that too, you know.
Go ahead. I don't care.
You were
Kenny-
in that bad of shape.
I was fat.
He
were
Kenny,
pudgy.
I was
Kenny was a
fatter.
big kid.
Fat
And
jerk. Yeah.
and he so at the weekend he came to see us. He said they're really on me to lose some weight. You know, I've got to lose some weight. So I said, well, do you like cantaloupe? You know, that's not, you know,
Yeah.
good for
I
you.
love cantaloupe.
And he said, yeah, I do. He ate 4 of them by himself. You know, that weekend
I don't know that you
between
can eat
2-on-2
that much.
games out in the driveway.
I don't know that you can eat that much cantaloupe.
But wait until we get to the other part, you guys, after this break. I want to get into, obviously, this is the man that got me in golf.
Yeah.
And I also, before that, I want to get into, hey, it wasn't over just because I won. There's another
they
piece to
came
this.
at you again?
What?
Oh man,
There's another piece to this.
That's interesting.
We'll be right back. Thank you guys for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports
That's
Animal.
interesting.
I got Kaylina producing. I got my guy Eric Strauss in here. You can catch him at the top of the hour over on KKOB from 6 to 8, talking to politics, but we're talking a little politics right now. I got the Honorable Judge Bob Brack, Federal District Court. Yeah, see, it rolls off the tongue now. I've said it like 3-4 times. Down in Las Cruces in here with me. He represented me when I sued the NCAA. This is the C block right now. This is the third part I got. What you guys don't understand, and I'm going to let Bob explain it. The NCAA, we got the injunction, but the NCAA did not go away. They kept hounding and hounding and hounding. Then we get to the point to where we make a deal. I'll let you take it from there, Judge.
You know, it was a long time coming, wasn't it? I mean, they started after you in your second semester as a freshman. And I thought today, hadn't thought of it in a long time, but we ended up trying to mediate it.
Yeah.
And I was watching TV one night at home, and
Yeah.
Peter Uberoth was on TV. And I thought, that's what we need. We need a national sports guy to mediate this. We don't need some local person, you know. And he ended up mediating it for us at the Doubletree Inn
Yes.
in Scottsdale.
I remember.
And Mr. Uberoth had a lot to say that day, but none of it had to do with you or the NCAA so much. He wanted to talk about Pete Rose and him getting in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And if he had just listened to Mr. Uberoth, he'd be in the Hall of Fame today. You know,
That's a good
So
one.
he wanted to mediate for Pete Rose?
Yeah.
well, he just wanted to talk about Pete Rose at the
okay.
mediation
Yeah.
between Kenny, and we didn't come to any conclusion then.
No, it was a
and
waste of time. That's all I remember.
it was a big waste of time. So was it your senior year?
Yes. So yeah, I wasn't supposed to stay all 4 years. It got to the point to where I was Eric. I was probably gonna leave after my freshman year.
Because you were just frustrated?
No. I could have went to the NBA.
Okay.
I probably would have been. They were saying that I would have got drafted in the first round, and then as it kept going, we decided to basically have me sit out my first semester of my senior year. And Coach Bliss, he pushed all the games back to the second semester.
I remember that one, yeah.
So only missed like what 10 games or something like that.
I don't think it was that many. I thought it was just 4 or 5.
Okay, I could be
because he pushed so many back. I could be wrong too.
no,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, but the matter is that he pushed games back.
That's crazy.
And yeah, Eric, I'm second leading in score
Yeah.
36. I think it's like 30 or 60 points away. Just think about those games if I would have had. Like, I would be in front of Charles Smith right now. Just add it to my records. But there's a freshman, Jake Hall, that's breaking like my freshman records right now at UNM. But yeah, he's a beast.
But he played horrible the other night, Jake. I told you, the one game I watch again.
They lost by 20.
Every time I watch for Jake Hall, he stinks it up. Man.
Have you ever, obviously you never seen us lose by 20 in the pit from 95 to 99. That was kind of bad from the standpoint of having like 14,000 people in the pit. And it's been a struggle to get them out. And you lose by 20.
And everybody walks away bitter. Everybody.
I hated it because they had a pretty long string of home wins.
27.
Right?
No, there's 24.
24.
Yeah,
24.
But they were playing like the number 1 or 2 team, right?
Yeah,
Utah State.
Yeah, Utah State, San Diego State, and the Lobos are tied for 1. Now the Lobos are in 3rd place. San Diego State is 2nd. Utah's 1. Utah was 27 in the net. Now they're 22. Lobos were 44-ish. Now they're around 42. So they're a little stagnant right now, but it's going to come down to those 3 teams. And right now with the Mountain West Conference the way it is, it's not as strong as the WAC back when I played, right?
Right, sure.
It's a whole different element now. It's going to be hard to get 3 teams in. It's going to be you're kind of guaranteed 1 because if you go to the Mountain West Conference, you're going to win.
Sure.
So right now it would be lucky if we get 2 in, and Utah State or San Diego State's probably one of those 2 teams that would get in right now. But yeah.
They can win the tournament though, the Lobos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's that one team
that
gets automatic. Yeah.
Based on how they played against Utah State.
So what it wasn't that much longer from the standpoint of we took the trip, we came back. Was it another year or 2 to where we made that decision to where I set out the first semester because I figured I would come back, right? For my senior year.
Was it the first semester of your senior year?
It was the first semester of my senior year.
Right. And we had been back and forth with them all the time.
For 3 years, right?
Yes.
3 years
by
this
that
is going
time.
on.
Yeah. And so the whole thing was based on a temporary restraining order. And then we got a preliminary injunction, and they agreed not to pursue beyond the preliminary injunction that first year. But they weren't going to let up.
Yeah.
And they were going to appeal. And ultimately, whether it was the good tactical call or not, to cut that deal and get them completely off your back, that's hindsight.
Do you regret that decision? And I want to go back there real quick because you hire this fancy mediator, you waste your time meeting with him at Scottsdale. When did you finally go to the actual mediation with NCAA and put his senior year first semester on the table?
As I recall it, the mediation was not successful, and ultimately we just were back and forth with counsel here in the state and a guy named Jack Kitchens, who was the head lawyer for the NCAA back in Kansas, wherever that is. And ultimately we came to that deal, and there is a sense of regret about it.
Why? I don't regret it.
Well,
I don't think so.
Do you feel like you just acquiesced and you should have fought the good fight? Or
you know what? It wasn't my fight. It was Kenny's life.
Right.
And I didn't want what they could have done if they had won. They could have gone back and wiped out all of your records. And we. So I was just.
Kenny, you look surprised by that. Is that
I don't
news
recall
to
that.
you?
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
I know Bob brought that up because that was probably going to be a huge key component.
Yeah.
But you guys got to also think about it.
It's like they were threatening you with that.
I'm like a kid that's just trying to play basketball. And then here I am having to go through this on a consistent basis throughout at least 2-3 years of being in college.
They never let up. And ultimately,
crazy.
If you're not upset about it, then I won't be looking back. But
why would you feel upset? Though?
You look palpably upset that you mediated this thing. What do you think you could have done differently?
Well, we could have fought the fight finally in court, but there's no certainty about anything. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how. Yeah. And Paul Bardicke is like a world-class mediator. I mean, at some point he quit trying cases and started mediating. He's mediated cases all over the world. He knows what I'm about to say, and that is there's no certainty about anything.
Yeah.
And, roll the dice if you like, but the roll of the dice for me is just a number. For Kenny,
It's his life. Yeah.
And so we made a decision at the time that we thought was best, and I pray that it was.
Do you recall? I mean, obviously it came down to my parents and me, right? Do you recall that process? Just a little, just vaguely, because I don't. But I'm pretty sure we followed. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm pretty sure I followed your lead.
Well, I'm sure you did. And your mom and dad both placed unbelievable confidence in me, and without any basis.
Yeah.
I was an unknown.
Yeah.
But we had the first win. We stayed with you throughout, and I ultimately we talked about it. We prayed about it because your mom was there, and that's what we did. So
Can I ask you honestly, in your gut, do you think if you went to trial, I know nothing's guaranteed, do you think you could have won that?
That's an honest question.
It's
Speak the truth, man.
Honestly, be honest. Do you really
you
think
can say
you could have
no.
won it?
You know what? If I thought it was a slam dunk, we would have rolled the dice, but I wasn't sure.
I got a question.
So it was a different question then than it is a question now.
Yeah.
Because the NCAA is so much different now than then, right? And I don't know to what extent. I saw some kid the other day suing for an 8th year of eligibility. It was in the papers 2 days ago.
Is that Pavia or who was that?
It wasn't Diego, but but this is a different world. The kids are running the show now, and that wasn't the case then. Kenny was the athletes then were just underpaid and underappreciated employees of a big machine.
Question
a corporation, for you, man.
Did we ever? I don't know. I'm gonna be devil's advocate, I guess. Did we ever attempt to think about going after money too, as well?
I don't think we ever made a case for money because in those days you didn't have a right to a scholarship. You didn't have a right to anything if you didn't meet their core requirements.
Well said.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're still avoiding my question, which I'm going to ask it one more time. In your gut, do you think you could have won that case? In your gut, not anything to do with anything else, but in your gut, did you think you had enough to beat them?
Yes, from what I know now.
Okay,
that's fair.
From what I know now, then you're asking me to speculate about something 30 years ago, and I can't say for sure. And I'll tell you what, I've never been cross-examined like this in my life. I sit and watch people cross-examined all the time.
You politician, you.
I am not. I'm really curious because you looked when you initially started talking about it, I could see the emotion on your face, and I feel like a part of young Bob wanted to go into that damn courtroom and take on the NCAA and put it in their face and get them off this young man's back. Because I can tell you guys have a really good relationship, and I feel like young Bob, more full of piss and vinegar, would want to take that trial and fight for the justice.
I'll answer for him. Yes. Yes. I'll answer for him.
I feel
back then, knowing who the man that I knew now, and he's still the same man.
Yeah.
But once again, what he's saying is he didn't want to take a gamble.
And I get
so
that.
It wasn't a matter of him identifying, saying, hey, we're going to do it.
That's why you can tell.
Because if I would have lost.
Yeah, he really loves you.
If I would have lost, also, I would have been done. Like, they could have took my whole scholarship. Everything, right? Yeah. Like, I would have just officially been done.
Yes.
Records and everything. I think you could have still gone to the NBA. And I think so.
Bro, I
don't know.
You
never know.
Man.
So Eric, but to be really addressing your question directly, it isn't a lawyer doesn't get to make decisions
Yeah.
based on his own piss and vinegar
Yes.
and competitive drive to win.
Yeah.
Because it's not about me.
Yeah. See why we
It's
love
about
him?
Yeah.
See why we
you
love
got
him?
the right guy.
See why I still
You got
love him?
lucky. Yeah.
What?
You got lucky.
Hey,
Yeah.
luck.
Well, true.
Highly favored, bro.
Yeah.
Highly favored.
bro. Just saying. We got
That's
one.
cool, man. That's cool.
Yes, blessed. Oh yeah, Sheila, Bob's wife is talking about. On my forums, I got blessed and I got glory on my forums. If you ever see me, yeah. Majority of my tattoos come from the Bible, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got one more segment, and yeah, man, this is an honor, man.
Man, this was really.
I've been wanting to
this
talk
was
about this for a minute.
This was way deeper and more interesting than I really thought this was going to be.
told you.
It was like, Bob, you're amazing, honorable Bob, or I don't know how to address you. I
Bob is fine.
See, the thing about it is, you're talking about him getting emotional. I was
Yeah.
over here getting goosebumps from
Yeah.
watching him, and
Well,
I
me
almost started crying.
I got emotional, and I wasn't even part of this thing.
Just
That's
saying, man.
amazing. That's amazing.
That was
Honestly.
a war that we fought, and it was
Yeah.
unbelievable, man. We
Yeah.
got one more segment coming back before we get to the top of the hour. Thanks for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. This is the last segment. We got a couple minutes. I got Eric Strauss in here with me. You can catch my man over on KKOB. Eric, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah,
and I
it's
got
been
the
awesome, dude.
honorable
Yeah.
Judge Bob Bracken here. Hey, Eric, this is the man that taught me so many different
They're
things.
wonderful people. I've enjoyed the time here.
Oh,
The show within the show.
Fresh your breath
Before we
there,
come-
man.
Yeah. Yeah,
he
that's cool.
taught me golf.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
really?
helped me. Oh, yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. It was a struggle. We just talked about
Yeah.
that the other day, but I still play. I'm probably like a 12 right now because I try and
That's
hit the
good.
ball too hard. But hey, when I get on that green, I can putt. I think I always had that touch on the green, didn't I?
you always had great touch. You're a great athlete, but I suggest golf, just as a distraction to him.
Yeah.
And he said, sure, I'll try, because he was a kid and an athlete and he wanted to do anything. And then he gets over there and he says, I need left-handed clubs. And I said,
I'm backwards.
you're not left-handed. what are you talking about? You don't shoot left-handed,
I
right?
swing left-handed.
I know, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shot right-handed.
Yeah.
And so this
Yeah.
surprised me.
Jump shot,
That's so
And-
weird.
Yeah. And we,
ambidextrous.
the course where we were playing, they had one set of left-handed rental clubs, and they were probably for like a 12-year-old kid
Oh, yeah.
who was
Oh, my
5 foot
gosh.
nothing.
Oh,
And
wow.
and the fact that you loved golf and stayed with it,
Oh, yeah.
given that beginning, surprises me.
Now I got a golf tournament for Special Olympics, raise money for the
I
kids.
know you do.
And
That's
yeah,
cool.
man. I have celebrities out. Hopefully you guys are around if you're not traveling. He does a lot of traveling, man. They get in the RV and they gone.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
No
No
RV,
RVs.
No
No.
RVs
Oh, you don't do
anymore?
RV.
I thought you did an RV.
Nope.
Never?
Never.
What do you
Where
do
did
now?
I get that from?
I've got a really nice Yukon, and we stay in really nice hotels.
There we
Good
go.
for you.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Good for
Yukon.
you.
Hey,
You earned that. I mean, you good for you guys.
you got anything else before we let
Yeah.
him go? We probably
Well-
got like 2 minutes maybe.
So I'm just wondering, like, what do you think of the NCAA modern day now? Do you love the NIL? Do you like the fact that the kids have the power? Or is there a little part of you that goes, these kids are spoiled. They have no idea. Back in the day, we used to walk up both here, both ways. Just, like, where are you at on that? Are you just happy now?
No, I'm not happy. I think it swung way back the other way, too far. When
agree.
Kenny was there, the athletes had zero power, and they were just used and abused.
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
at the time. Now they've got all the power, and I don't know how the NCAA and Division I teams. I don't know how you coach around that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
plan around that. And and kids are coming and going all the time.
Yeah.
And now, finally, the law is starting to come
Catch
in
up.
there and mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah.
They're starting to make kids sign contracts.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple of kids sued because they get in the portal after they've signed a
Yeah.
contract. It'll come back. It'll swing back, I think,
Yeah.
because it has to. The kids have too much power at this point.
Totally agree.
Judge, it
My
was an
God.
honor, man.
What?
Really
Eric, it was
cool.
great fun.
Yeah.
Great fun. Thank
Ah,
you.
Super
Kenny,
nice meeting you.
Goosebumps.
What a
Goosebumps.
lovely couple.
I love Kenny. And
I love you too,
Have for
bud.
30 years, man. So,
Hey, man.
God bless you.
See, after this,
Amen.
go ahead, bud. God
No.
bless you too. And God bless you, Sheila. And the family and the girls. Yeah, if they don't know it. No, I'm just kidding. I am their black kid. Just to let you know. I am their black kid. I'll throw it out there. Hey, Remember to catch me on KOB4, 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. I'm about to go over there right now, pre-record my thing. Check me out. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Thank you for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.